Welcome back everyone for more Let's Play Tex Murphy Under a Killing Moon. If you recall, we had a pretty good long look around Tex's office.
This here is my favorite desk drawer.
So great, close it. And I need to keep the same angle. There we go. Okay, so now.
Most of these desk drawers haven't been used for so.
Yes, I know. We've been over that.
As usual, it's a mess.
So close it.
Most of these desk drawers haven't been used for so long.
Tex, I know.
As usual, it's a mess. My old reliable faux oak desk. Nothing in here but a pen.
A pen? We could use a pen.
This is probably the only writing utensil that works in the whole office.
Well, we are a detective. We want to write
This here
things
is
down.
my favorite desk drawer.
Works pretty well for me. And now, what we are going to do is now go over the next part of the interface, the actual inventory. Okay, what we're going to do is fill out this application. And yes, it is somewhat of convoluted. And the credit card application. So we grab the pin that we just found. Click the credit card application with the pin. Have a look, it says filled out application.
Now all this baby needs is a stamp.
And what did we just grab? A stamp. Well, just grab. Examine.
I need to run this thing down to the auto post box on the street.
Okay, so it is filled out. The ready-to-mail application is, well, ready. But we just got to get to a post office, or a post office box. Whoa, get back. This is going to actually give me some trouble throughout the game. It has so far.
This cabinet is where my old successes go to die. Nothing here but nostalgia.
That describes this game.
This cabinet is where my old success.
No, I can only open the one. Well, let's take another look at the fax machine to refresh our memory.
Another incoming message that won't print out. If I don't get a new fax machine, I'll be out of business.
So are you seeing how this all fits together just so far, just in this little office? We need a new fax machine to get jobs. We get a new fax machine by going to the electronics store, but we need to get the credit card to go to the electronics store. It works out pretty well that way. We've got all our little ducks in a row, so to speak. And let's look now at the last thing in the office, and the main thing that actually has any real value for us.
CrimeLink Computer is the only valuable piece of equipment left in the office. By entering suspect information like height, weight, and hair color, I can access the suspect's personal files.
You see, at this exact moment, it doesn't mean much to us. But we're going to take a look at this right now, just to take a look at it. And it gives you the crime link. We make it stick. And what you can do is you can click on here, and you can pick. Once you get clues, you can enter the race, the sex, the height, the weight, even though that should be gender, mutant. So far we have over 100 possible matches to Caucasian. Notice that all those, that really doesn't narrow it down much. Caucasian male. We'll go with not a mutant. We will go medium build. Next. Two eyes. we'll just pick random. Right now it still says 100 plus. But eventually, works. Chest, missing head. Now you see, technically there can't be that many, people with all this. But this will only start counting down when we actually get clues that lead us to a suspect, a real suspect. And we will shortly. Like I said, this will come up to be very handy this day, this chapter, or whatever you want to mark these off. But for right now, it's kind of useless until we have to actually track down a suspect. We don't even have a case yet. We have to go fix that. But first, we must go find a way to mail off our application.
The air outside feels thick, like I'm breathing through a pair of dirty gym socks. It's a high radiation day. Most everyone will be staying inside, but I need to hunt for some work. I always like to start the day with the traditional PI breakfast. That hits the spot.
Indeed it does, Tex. We can look around from up here, but we're not going to see a whole lot. So let's focus down just a bit so we don't end up tumbling over the side there. That's a roof, but it looks like water. Okay, come on, find the happy spot. So let's see, where would get back, moving forward, please. I'm going to be fighting with this. Aha, over there. Exactly what we need. And our ready to mail application is sitting there, so.
The Postal Service has gotten much faster since the stamp price went to $10. I should get my credit card back tomorrow morning.
I would imagine the advent of email probably helped out in that, assuming that email actually exists in this world.
Streetlights here work about half the time, and that's usually during the day.
Convenient that, isn't it?
I like to stand by these, waiting for a glimpse of Rita. Francesca Lucido makes the spiciest pizza in the city. The only thing spicier than her cooking is her imagination. And right now she seems to have a thing for me.
Uh-oh. That can't be good. Spicy. So let's see. What do we have here? We actually now, if you've noticed, we actually have a street that we can walk around. And while it may not usually be wise to kind of just wander around a street, I think that was just ours. Yeah. There's our speeder. Same old speeder we had in the first game and the second game, but we didn't really use it. But you can look around, you can wander. You will not find too many people out. As he said, it's a high radiation day, so most people will be inside. If you really want to, you can wander around and look at all the different signs.
The Bijou Theater used to be quite a night spot. It was condemned years ago and could collapse any day. There's no way I'm going in there. The Golden Gate Hotel was once known as the Waldorf of the Pacific. Its halls are still sturdy and the walls have worn well, but there's nobody living inside.
Cute text.
Ah, the once majestic Chandler Avenue. There's enough radiation in this asphalt to fry an egg on Christmas morning.
Can we look at that?
All hell has broken loose since the government stopped requiring...
No.
All hell is broken. All hell is...
Okay, let's see. What's this up here? So honestly...
All hell has broken loose since the government...
Well, Remember, we need to find a job. So, who better to ask about a job? Let's look around
Chelsea
first.
keeps a well-stocked selection of magazines. I wish I could afford to buy a couple. Life hasn't been the same since my True Detective subscription ran out.
Oh, Tex.
These garbage cans seem to be in good shape. Too bad nobody uses them. These garbage cans seem to be in good...
I'm gonna take a look inside these trash cans. Ardo Kill. That's kind of disturbing. But you notice those cans look to be in really good shape, but look how flat they are. Yeah, 3D modeling ain't quite what it used to be.
Rook Garner runs this pawn shop. Rook Garner. That old wooden fence blocks off the alley that runs beside Rook's pawn shop.
That fence looks a little
That
worse
old
for
wooden
wear.
fence blocks... Francesca Lucido makes...
Okay. Let's see. Looked at that, looked at that.
Man, there are signs of radioactivity everywhere.
And for the most part, Tex is immune to it. And I'm pretty sure he could find something to give him a near lethal dose of radiation.
Louis
Why would
Lamintz
he?
runs the Brew and Stew, which is a local hangout. Well, this is a section of the Bay City Mirror. It's a weekly newsletter that covers local goings-on written by mutants for mutants. I'd subscribe if they had a comics page.
Why does it not surprise me that the comics page is... Okay. We've got a newspaper. What can we do? We can read this newspaper. Police officers acquitted of assault in civil suit. Angry protests were staged today outside the 5th Precinct Courthouse when two Norm police officers, Joey Harris and Dean Adler, both incidental members of the Crusade for Genetic Purity, remember them from the first game, were found not guilty on assault and battery of a private citizen. Emo Dooley, an unemployed homeless mutant, had brought a civil suit against the officers, saying they had randomly picked him out of a group of stragglers and beaten him senseless. This is the fourth civil suit brought against Norm members of the SFPD this year alone. Each trial has ended in an acquittal. Undoubtedly, this has given police an added sense of immunity, leading to more mutant accusations of civil rights violations. The 2-mutant, 10-norm jury deliberated for only 3 minutes, 18 seconds before presenting the not guilty verdict. Juror Lainey Fox explained the reason for the quick decision made by the jury. The prosecution never convinced us that Mr. Dooley has not always looked the way he does. The ACLU announced that it is planning to appeal. So, you kind of get the idea, yeah. Not a lot's changed in the world, despite the fact that we've helped clean up the mean streets and then done quite a bit of good getting the Oracle Stone into a prominent, actually a pretty decent person on Mars. So, next time, increment, file, and save. Street. So we will continue this next time as I continue to read this paper and then maybe finally go get a job. So until then, see everyone later. Take care, folks.